All right, everybody, welcome to the pre-show for Sword Coast Chronicles. This is DM Galabond. Waiting on the players. We'll be getting logged in a few minutes, and we will start around the top of the hour. You are listening to music of Pipe Dream Hits. So enjoy that music before we start the game tonight. And let's see. Hey, James, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Doing okay. You came in so quietly, I didn't even hear you.
I just barely snuck in, yeah. I thought I'd be one of the last ones to sign on, but I guess there's a couple in the other channel. So.
Yeah. I'm just going to give everybody a heads up that the stream is live when you hop to the game channel. All right. So how was your week?
That's good. I'm out in California, out in LA right now. And then I'll be
that's right. That's right. Yeah.
And I'll be in Las Vegas next week. So things are good.
Yeah. Training season.
Yeah. Training.
Oh boy. Well, let's see.
Florida.
So far so good. It's trying to decide whether it wants to hang on to summer or become fall. We've had, I think we had 1 or 2 nights earlier in the week where the low was hovering right at or just below 70. Ooh.
It's actually cold here today.
And, now today it was up in the upper 80s for the high. So
Hello.
Hey. How are you doing?
Hello.
Doing good,
guys.
I'm doing good, except when I had that myelogram done yesterday.
Hola, senors.
Oh,
Buenos dias, mein
Yeah,
friend.
that nice lower lumbar puncture and spinal tap.
But that went okay. Other than probably being uncomfortable.
Yeah, it was a little uncomfortable, but other than that, no, I didn't have no headache like most people get. Apparently, I'm rare. Didn't have a headache. Just felt drowsy, tired, and just I pretty much stayed in bed for 24 hours.
Yeah, that will do it to you. All right. Well, I presume that I saw Heather was on a little early. Well, she's. Oh, there you are. You snuck in quietly. I must have some setting changed because I'm not hearing when anybody enters the channel, which is fine because I don't need all of those beep boop and beep boop. It's just
Yes, it's a lot of dings.
Yeah, I don't.
Hey,
and
it's like my car.
There is, yeah, and there is Ivy. Well, welcome. Hey.
Welcome.
Okay, hello, Valexian. Thank you for stopping by the chat today. I am DM Galabon. These are the players, and we are here for session 65 of the Sword Coast Chronicles. It is our love letter to the published campaigns of D&D. And right now we are in the storyline of Storm King's Thunder, and the party are in the city of Yartar. which is in the Desserin Valley. I'll go ahead and bring up the map so everybody can see where we are. We're in the city of Yartar, and they have run down a lead on who has kidnapped King Hecaton. However, we've been trying for 3 sessions to get through a single day so that they can get to a riverboat at night. And I've about decided that whether it's the players or whether it's the characters, we're dealing with a hydrophobic party. A party that just wants to stay as far away from the water as they possibly can.
I have to say the background.
You're welcome. I hate water.
They just seem to be afraid of going anywhere near that river, and they're doing everything they can to draw out this day and make it as long as possible. But, if they want to spend 10 sessions here in Yartar bumping around and kicking around, well, I can probably come up with things for them to do. So, when we last left our group of adventurers, they were split up into 3 groups. We had Thaldohr and Faerun, who were coming back into town disguised. We had Dez and Mulek, who were at the Fat Dragon Inn. And we had Bell and Krenraid, who had helped a poor gentleman accursed with lycanthropy at the Church of Tymora. And he had expressed all sorts of gratitude to them. And we kind of never really saw whether they left or when they left that temple. So let's go back and sort of check in with them, because that'll sort of set our timeline. You guys had gone over after breakfast. Probably took you all of about an hour at the temple. So while you were gone, a bunch of stuff happened back at the Fat Dragon Inn. Both Thaldohr and Thaldohr rode out of town. But when you finish with Merrill, and Merrill is sort of being ministered to by the good priest, and he seems, now that he's been cured of this curse, and he realizes that people had lied to him and told him that if he got a curse, it didn't mean that the gods had turned his back on him. It just meant that the hideous, horrible monster had bitten him. He is now very interested in learning more about the ways of Tymora. So the priest is talking to him. Now, he's not going to shove you out of his office. He will be happy if you all want to sit and listen to the glories of Tymora. But if you have other things you need to do, he's not going to cause you to, he's not going to try to twist your arms and make you stay. So,
doing the thingy thing, Belle would be counting the money and then be trying to find the shiniest coin. All that, saying, no, just give me a second. Just keep on doing your thing. It's okay. In the corner.
Okay. And what is Krenraid? Okay, yeah, Krenraid has counted out and paid.
Was it 16?
No, it was 14.
14. Okay, well, 1.
No,
it's 15.
A very nice acolyte will come and help Krenraid count out the coins, and will make very sure that it is not miscounted, that he neither overpays nor underpays for the service. And actually they think that it's a very generous donation, because of course they also believe they're going to get, or all signs are they're going to get, at least a follower of Tymora, if not someone who wants to study more about the faith and perhaps take at least some sort of lay position within the church in this Merrill.
I'm going to trust that you haven't messed with the coins at all, and we're all going to go our lovely separate ways. Ain't that right, Merrill?
And Merrill says, oh, Krenraid the Magnificent, Krenraid the Wonderful, Krenraid the Majestic.
Bell will throw a coin at his head and say, what about me? I helped too.
And Bell the Munificent, Bell the beautiful, Bell the bombastic, Bell the beatific. It is. Thank you all both so much for helping me to get here. I would have gone through the rest of my days as that horrible monster if you hadn't helped me. Thank you.
Technically, I think it's nice that you would have been him. But, yeah, I get the point. I think that the curse thing is really messing with your head now.
Yeah, you should go see your wife and your kid.
Hi.
And
also, my name's Krenraid. I don't Krenraid Hillcrest. I don't know what the rest of those names were, but that's not me. Sorry.
Oh, Krenraid Hillcrest. Yes, Hillcrest must be the school of magic that you practice. But you indeed are a potent wizard. And
thank you. I know.
And the priest kind of gives you a little bit of a dubious look, but he doesn't say anything.
I'm very good at the finger waggling. Ever since Mulek told me how to use this thingy and say the right words, I'm very good at finger waggling.
And the priest then he smiles knowingly and he nods and he says, yes, I have no doubt that you are Krenraid the Magnificent. And then
it's Krenraid Hillcrest. Look what you've started.
So kind of mimicking, look at what you started. On the point of she's more imitating the point of, oh yeah, I'm a wizard. No, you're not.
As far as Krenraid is concerned, anyone that can do finger waggling is a wizard. The different schools of wizardry, the different classes that can do it, completely beyond him.
Okay, so you guys are going to go ahead pretty soon and leave the temple then. There's not anything you would need to do.
After making sure Belle gets the shiniest coin out of the lot.
Oh, yes. She gets the shiniest coin. And in fact, if there are any coins that are shinier, they will gladly trade any dull coins that you have for more shiny ones. So
Bella gets a thing full of shiny coins?
Yeah. So I guess that means that you guys stay about another hour at the temple while Belle
Yes.
does that. Okay. All right. So we've established that timeline. Okay.
Don't be screaming at Krenraid, no, you're sitting here until I get the shiniest coins of the shiniest of coins.
I wasn't going to go anywhere. I heard they had blessed wine here or something. I kind of want to try that.
That does sound some good. You give me some too, yeah?
Yeah.
We're going to be here for another, I don't know, an hour.
I'll get some snacks too. What'd you like?
Yes.
Okay. As they begin discussing wine and snacks, we see the sort of Wayne's World effect, and we look back at the Fat Dragon Inn. Mulek and Dez, you all are upstairs. I believe we left you all upstairs in your suite. Is that correct?
Yeah,
I was trying to go back to sleep.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, and I was studying the book from Abinadom, and you said about an hour I had studied, and then we jumped over to the other.
Right. Okay. Well, after about the end of an hour of study, Mulek, you hear a commotion downstairs, another commotion. And Des, I'm gonna let you make a perception check at disadvantage to see if it wakes you up. And you've been tired. You've been 15 now. You sleep right through it, so you're not bothered by this. It's not loud enough to wake you up. So no interruption to your sleep this time. But Mulek, you hear this commotion, and there are raised voices of men, and those are quickly followed by several loud whacks. And then there's the sound of men screaming in pain. And this appears to be coming from downstairs.
Interesting. Okay, I will immediately cast invisibility on myself, and I will walk downstairs stealthily.
Okay. You come down, and I'll say you get down to the landing above the common room, and you can then sort of see what's going on. And you see Tiri, who is the human wife of the innkeeper, Bararak, the half-orc. And she is standing in the middle of the common room, and she has a rolling pin that is about the size of a battle axe, and she is swinging that around, and the people that she is swinging it at are several men that are dressed in some kind of uniform, and they are trying to lay hands on her husband, who's the innkeeper. And two of those men in uniform are already down on the floor, clutching their heads and groaning in pain. And the cook cries, "You're drunk, you fools! What is this about some frog and some owl? I have a mind to march up to Waterbaron Hall and inform your mistress that her guards have been drinking on duty and are harassing good folk of the town. Now get out of my common room before I bloody more of your skulls for you, good-for-nothing louts." And then, without missing a breath, she turns around and points a meaty finger right at the chest of her daughter. And she says, "And you, missy, this is why you will never be courted by a common soldier. They're all dumb as posts and lack the common sense they were born with. What nonsense is this? A man turns into a frog and flies away with an owl. Pah! Poppycock." And then, as a couple of the soldiers reach for the innkeeper one more time, she just grabs the rolling pin with two hands and just swings it like it's a battle axe and knocks one of them in the head and just knocks him off of his feet, and he goes down onto the floor, and he's like curls up in a fetal position, and he's groaning and holding his head where she hit him. And the others, they just start backing off and backing towards the door to the common room, because clearly they are not having a good day. So what would Mulek do?
I'm just watching. I'm not going to intervene.
Okay. Well, eventually they back out of the room, and then she puts a hand on her hip, and she sort of changes her grip a little bit on the rolling pin, and now she's holding it kind of like a pointer, and she points it at her husband, and she says, "Bararak, Now you talk to me this instant. What is this nonsense? Why do they think there is some frog and owl here at this inn? What is going on here? And he's like, but the Lord, spit it out, husband. And he says, yes, dear. The Lord from Waterbaron Hall, he came by earlier. He was all in a huff, looking for Thaldohr, that bard. Well, what did he want with him? I don't know. I sent them up to his room, and he came down, and he smelled like a skunk, and he said that none of them should leave, and he talked about some furbog up there. I guess the furbog that came in last night with them. I don't know. I don't know what he wanted, but I know nothing about a frog. I know nothing about an owl. I've not seen anyone any more than you have. And she says, that's what comes of letting adventurers stay at the inn. I bet they're behind this. And she kind of looks up the stairs and she says, if I didn't have the lunch to make, I'd march right up there and give them a what for as well. Nothing. And she just sort of simmers and she says, you get this common room cleaned up and I'll have no more of this foolishness. And she turns around and she stomps off back into the kitchen. And the innkeeper hustles his daughter to get some towels and get some some wet towels and some cold compresses and things. And he goes over and he sort of kneels down next to some of the men that are still on the floor groaning, and he says, let me help you to the door. And they are kind of very weakly just sort of trying to half crawl away. And as you look out the door, you can see that there's like 3 or 4 horses that are there with riders on them and a couple of other people there. And one of the riders on the horses has the Lord's horse that he's leading. So whatever you want to make.
Sure.
So you can decide whatever you think of that.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna watch and see what they do.
Okay. They just sort of stay outside, and they, from what you can tell, they seem to start questioning people in the streets. And there's a couple of people that point to the post where the horse was tied, and then they kind of point up in the air and point off to the north, kind of in the direction, of course, that you sent Casper flying off with the frog. And so there are some people out in the street that apparently witnessed this, and they're telling these soldiers about it. But the soldiers are like, they already kind of lost one battle. They're not willing to go in and face the cook again.
Can I gather whether they know what caused it, or if Dez is in any trouble? Because I'm gathering that when I sent the what's his name, when I sent him off, that no information would have been passed to the rest of the soldiers. Do I gather that they're putting 2 and 2 together, or that they're just thoroughly confused and all they know is that their leader has been possibly transformed into a frog and taken away?
Make an insight check for me.
Oh, jeez.
The best you can tell, something must have happened, and somehow, I mean, you've never heard of well, you don't know what happened, but somehow the Baron must have been able to get word to his people of what happened. That's what you think with an insight check of 4.
Okay.
So that, or what the heck did we call him? Lord something. I've got to look in our NPC names. And
Lord Stupid Face.
Bryson, I believe.
Yeah, Lord Bryson. Lord Bryson. Yeah.
I like
Lord Stupid Face.
Yeah. So yeah,
Okay.
you must think that that has happened.
Okay. Do they appear to they're just going to be remaining there questioning people, or are they leaving?
No, they seem to be questioning people because, of course, people saw what happened, but they didn't see why it happened.
Yeah.
And so there's, and you guys didn't pull any Frodo Baggins stuff in the inn last night, and we're showing off with magic spells and stuff like that. In fact, the only person who did show off with any kind of magic spells was long gone from the inn by the time Lord Bryson showed up, and that person only had an audience of 1 in the bathhouse when they were showing off the mirror image.
Okay. I'm just gonna go back up to the room then.
Okay.
Stealthily.
All right. Okay. So, so you guys were up there about 2 hours. I will say that Krenraid and Bell, and then Thaldohr and Falasher, you all are more or less heading towards the Fat Dragon at about the same time. So all of you will see the same scene. You're coming from slightly different directions, and I don't think Krenraid or Bell knew what the disguises for these two were going to be. Nope. So you don't see anybody familiar. But what you all see, you see several people in the livery, or in a livery that has a symbol that appears to be on a lot of the flags around here. So it must be some kind of local militia or local things, but they're dressed like soldiers or guards, and they are standing around outside the inn. One of these people, actually several of them, are seated in front of the porch, and one of them has a huge black eye, and another one has one of those stereotypical white bandages across his head with a big wad of cloth on one side of his face, and his jaw looks like it's kind of swollen up, and another one has an arm in a sling, and they're all just sort of sitting there like they are gravely wounded. And as you walk up, you find that, or actually, as you walk forward, a figure comes to the door of the inn, and this figure is the figure of the cook. And this cook is holding a rolling pin that's about the size of a battle axe. And she says, "What are you all still doing here? If my husband tells you he don't know about any frogs or owls, then he don't know about any frogs or owls. Now I suggest if you have someone missing from your Water Baron's hall, you go looking for him elsewhere. If you come around here again, I'll crack more of you over the head with my Bessie." And she shakes the rolling pin for emphasis. And about that time, they kind of make motions like they're holding up their hands and just and they're backing away a little bit from the edge of the inn, and 2 or 3 of them help to pick up the ones that have already been injured, and they help to put them on their horses, and they all start to turn and they all start to ride towards the Water Baron Hall. So Thaldohr, from your time, you would know what the Water Baron Hall is, and as those people get near and pass you, you would clearly see it is the livery of the Water Baron's guards. So they are kind of the people that guard the castle where the Water Baron lives. Now, of course, none of you have heard anything about frogs or owls, but as you get close, there are people milling around in the street, and some of them are talking to each other, and others are pointing up at the sky, and things like that. So what would you all do as you get closer to the inn?
Well, Belle, did you see a frog or an owl?
Did I see a frog or an owl?
Yeah, the old lady's
I've seen lots of frogs on, in the swamp, and an owl. Where'd you find one of those? What's their name?
I don't know. We should ask the old lady who runs the inn.
I don't know. An owl says who, right?
I don't know what an owl says. I don't think it says anything. I don't think it can speak.
Maybe if we keep on saying woo, then an owl will come. But then again, I shouldn't do it, because then they're scared of me. Because apparently they think that I'm going to eat them or anything. Something of the sort. They're very rude. But truthful.
Have you ever eaten an owl before?
No.
What do it taste
Yes.
like? Oh, what does it taste like?
It tastes like chicken.
I thought it would taste like chicken. It looks like a chicken.
Yeah, it really does. Anyway, yeah. Let's go ask old Bessie or what's his face.
Yeah, maybe we can order some chicken so I'm getting hungry now.
Sure, yeah. Maybe they have cooked owl.
Sure, yeah.
So, Deckard, what was all that about?
Okay, and Thaldohr, who are you talking to?
I'm talking to Thaldohr, but I'm using his code name.
Oh, okay.
Deckard.
Okay.
So I'm like,
Okay.
So, Deckard, what was with all the guarded men on the horses running out of here?
I don't know. What do you think?
No.
Oh, yeah, Ivy, you missed that. His name is now Deckard Kane.
Yeah, I know. I get
Right.
the joke, and I see his voice too.
So, the lady came out screaming about owl and a frog, and I have no idea. I just, you know this town better than most, and then you saw the guards up on their horses running off. I don't know who they are, but what you have no idea what you think of there, Deckard?
I'm too old to worry about such things. I'm thirsty.
All right. All right. Well, let's go meet up with our friends in the inn over there. Then how about that?
Make me. Let's see. Let me just take a quick peek here. Thaldohr has that. Thaldohr has that. Yeah. Why not, Thaldohr and Thaldohr? Why don't you both make me perception checks? Because there's people milling around, and You may not notice people in particular in the crowd.
Perception check. Okay.
Oh, yeah, Thaldohr, as you look around, kind of through the veil that Thaldohr has left over your eyes, you spot Krenraid and Bell coming to the inn from the north. It looks like they've been out and gone somewhere up that way. You know that vaguely in that direction is the Water Baron Hall, but you also know there's lots of other parts of the city beyond that as well. So it's not really clear where they would have been going. So you see them over there. Obviously, they don't seem to recognize you or Thaldohr at all.
Yeah.
Right.
He kind of just like hobbles up to a table and sits down.
Okay. As you walk in. Go ahead.
Can I walk past Belle? What is she doing?
Now remember, I have to guide you. You're blind.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
right. That's right. Yeah.
They're coming
he'll
from
do
a
that.
different They're coming from a different direction, so you won't pass them.
Okay. How far away are they, you think?
Oh, they may be like 50 feet away.
Oh, okay. So, okay. I see.
So they're coming to the inn from a slightly different direction.
Can I smell a tabaxi? Perception check.
Can I smell my traveling partners I've known for like I don't know?
With a 24, you already spotted them.
Okay,
so yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
but I meant from a sense of smell.
Blind. You're not blind.
I'm going to pretend I am though. Like, I'm keeping up
well,
straight.
since you know they're there, you don't have to make a roll for perception. You already know they're there. You can play it up however you want to play it up. You don't need to roll for it.
All right.
You don't have a snoot like Belle. Don't even try.
I'll let Thaldohr lead me to a table to sit down, and I'll wait for the waitress.
Okay. As
you tell me that. So you're thirsty, Deckard, huh? All right, I'll take you to the nearest table.
Yeah, I think he had mentioned he was thirsty. So, all right. So you guys walk in, and you notice that there's like some cleanup. The young the serving maid, Missy, has a bucket and a mop, and she's mopping up a couple of places on the floor of the common room. And the innkeeper is just behind the counter, and he's just seems to be fidgeting nervously and pacing back and forth. He's not really even paying much attention to the common room. Very unlike an innkeeper. Normally he would be tending bar and talking to people, but there's nobody sitting right at the bar. And there's more people that are outside kind of looking into the inn curiously, wondering what's going on. And so yeah, you guys walk in, and I guess Thaldohr and Thaldohr would get there first, and then maybe half a minute later, Krenraid and Bell would walk in, unless they decide to stop and talk to somebody outside.
No, I think the innkeeper lady came inside the inn.
Yeah. She actually, if she was still in the door when Thaldohr and Thaldohr were starting to come up the stairs, she would have gotten out of the way and sort of put on an ingratiating smile and say, gentlemen, please come in, have a seat somewhere. And then she looks over at her husband, and she looks back at Thaldohr, and she says, "I'll get my husband. Just wait." And she then goes stepping over towards the bar. And she doesn't raise her voice, but she uses that big rolling pin kind of like a baton. And she's like sort of pointing at him, and then it whips it back across the room, or whips the end around across the room to point back to your table, and then whips the end back to them and glares at him. And then she just strides through the doors back into the kitchen. And he sort of starts to straighten his apron and everything, and then he slicks his hair back a little bit, and he puts on the best smile he can manage, and he begins to walk over towards your table. And that's the sight that you see, Bell and Krenraid, when you walk in. There's a traveler in a cloak sitting with an old man with white hair who seems nearly blind, and they are sitting at a table, and the innkeeper is putting on, very obviously trying to put on a brave face, but clearly very distracted and probably terrified, and coming over to try to be friendly towards them. And as he walks up to you, Thaldohr, he says, gentlemen, welcome to the Fat Dragon. I have the honor to be Berarok, and you've seen my wife, Tiri, the cook. How can I help you?
Oh, yes. I'm very thirsty. It's been a week since we've had a decent meal, and I'd like a nice ale, please. By the way, it smells like a wet cat in here.
And he looks around, and then as he looks around, his gaze passes over Belle, but Belle isn't wet. She seems perfectly dry, and he says, we don't have any cats in the inn, I don't think.
No cats, you say? Well, maybe my nose is getting bad at my age.
Oh, and he kind of takes a look at the wrappings. Oh, and then he looks with concern at Thaldohr, and he sort of mouths without saying a word. Mouths a question: is he blind? And like points at his own eyes.
And I shake my head, and I'm just like, yes.
And I'll see if we can't freshen the air up a little bit for you, sir. I'm sorry, we don't want to have any bad smells. It was bad enough earlier with that man who smelled like a skunk when he was here. It's been a horrible day so far. But I'm sure.
I'm sorry, you have to speak up. Did you say skunk?
Yes. The Water Baron's husband was here, Lord Barrick. Yes, Lord Bryson. Lord Bryson was here, and he smelled of skunk. I can't believe it. I don't know what was wrong with him, but he was railing on about some such, and then the guards were just here, and they say that people had told them that he had turned into a frog and flown away with the owl, and they were here as if I knew anything about that.
Oh my goodness, that sounds like the work of demons to me. What was that all about?
My God.
Demons! Demons! Oh! Bless my stars. That's all we need. Demons! Oh, I hope it's not demons. What is this world?
Thaldohr is just smiling.
Oh.
Well, my young son, it's always demons or angels.
Demons or angels? Dear.
In my experiences, that's what it comes down to.
Well, you may be right. I may have to go. I may have to go see the people at the at the temple later today. This is.
But what caused all that ruckus?
I'm begging your pardon, sir. I don't rightly know. Lord Bryson said he was here to look for a bard that stayed with us last night. Some chap called Thaldohr. I don't know what he wanted with him, but
Thaldohr, the famous bard.
Well, I suppose. His name is a little bit familiar. Seems I remember someone that might have had that name that was here some time ago. But anyway, he was here with some friends last night, and then this morning they had breakfast, and then there was a commotion, and he left. And then a few minutes later, the Lord came by looking for him. I don't know what he wanted with him. Maybe he didn't pay. Maybe he owes the Lord money and hasn't paid him or something. I don't know.
Well, that's a shame. He's super famous along the Sword Coast. I wish I could have heard him.
Well, he didn't even have a chance to perform last night. Yes, that's too bad. Well, I suppose we won't see him here anymore, huh? But all of this chatting is not bringing your ale. I'll get your ale right away. And you, sir, he says, looking at Thaldohr. Do you want anything to drink, sir?
Sure, I'll take an ale as well. That's fine.
Very well. And then he looks over. He says, "Missy," and he snaps his fingers. I think you've cleaned up enough now. Why don't you take that back? And these gentlemen would like a couple of ales. I need to go back and see to the bar." And she says, "Yes, Papa." And she picks up the pail and picks up the mop, and she heads back towards the kitchen with those. And Krenraid and Bell, I think you could have overheard some of that, but obviously you don't recognize either of these people sitting at the table. And I'm going to say that Thaldohr is disguising his voice enough that you wouldn't recognize him by voice.
I'm looking for him specifically. Anyone dressed not as him, obviously, I'm not getting it.
So I don't have to do any kind of like deception check or anything like that.
Oh, not with the day this guy has had. No.
Got it.
Well, Belle would be interested in like looking at the blind man who called her a wet cat. She'll probably look over the table with her eyes there and saying, "A wet cat," to herself, and Krenraid like, "I'm not wet."
No, you're not wet. So they must be talking about somebody else. There must be a different cat.
They'll kind of sniff there and say, "I don't smell no other cat." Lord, I'm gonna give this man a piece of my mind.
I wouldn't. I just think he's a bit senile.
Yeah, well,
let's get some chicken wings.
She'll kind of like pull it across and say, "I just want some fried owl now, and I can't even get that because I'm being called a wet cat."
They might have it here. Should we check?
Pretty nicely.
I kind of want to try it out. I'm not going to lie. Maybe we can share it with the old man, and you can have a word with him when we get some chicken.
Well, you go into the kitchen and you go get the owl, and you think You talk to her, see what she knows. Well, I'm going to talk to this senile old man.
About wet cats or about the owls tasting like chicken?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, Thaldohr. Thaldohr, a figure is approaching your table, and you see that figure is Belle, and she does not look best pleased. Those feline ears are sort of turned back and pressed back, like she's not happy, and she's kind of glaring at Deckard. And then, oh, hey, there goes Krenraid. Krenraid's going up to the bar. Looks like he's trying to get the attention of the bartender.
This is going to be fun. So Thaldohr sitting there thinking as Belle's walking up, like, because she apparently doesn't recognize me yet, or Faerun. So I'm gonna sit there and I'm gonna play like a psychic. I'm gonna sit there and just be like, it's like, do I know you? Is your name? I'll start that when she gets to the table.
Okay, so Belle, you walk up to these two, this traveler in the cloak and the old man with white hair, and you notice as you get closer, he does in fact have something covering his eyes, as though maybe his eyes either are injured or as though he's blind or something like that.
I'll kind of come up to the table and kind of sniff the area and says, "Do you guys know like owl tastes like fried chicken?" And she'll kind of like go up to the blind man's face and kind of stick it right in his face too, like her, like so close, like nose almost touching.
Wait, Belle gets in his face, or
yes?
Okay,
very much so.
Hey, he sniffs and what do we? Out of character, real quick. What are we calling you? What do we call him, Thaldohr?
Oh, call me Tyrell.
Tyrell. Okay.
Tyrell.
Or Tyrael. Call me Tyrael.
Tyrael. We have to do something about that breath of yours.
Deckard, that's not me. That's some lady in front of us that looks like a cat. Hold on. So I pull a platinum out of my bag and I start twirling it in my fingers, and it's real shiny. So I rub it against my cloak and I'm just sitting there running it through my fingers. It's like, yeah, apparently she's like a poker chip when you run it across your fingers. I'm like, apparently she's got a piece of chicken in front of your face, and I don't understand why. Ma'am, would you like to sit down for a minute?
I kind of look over at the other guy. She kind of like stared at him weirdly and says, "No, I don't want to sit down." She kind of whip her head back to the blind man and says, "You called me a wet cat earlier. I shall tell you, I clean myself perfectly fine, old man." And she kind of like slap his hat down.
Well, child, no need to be rude.
You know what? My friend, my Faerun always stuck up to me. And he told me how to stand up for myself, so I am not no wet cat. And anyone should know cats don't like being wet. So you would hear them whining and complaining and yippy yap and yap.
So I sit there and I said, sorry to interrupt you, Val. And it's like, I look over at her. I'm like, how about we play a game?
Well, hold on. Sit down, child. Let me get a good look at you. I'm blind.
And he reaches his hands up.
Ah!
A cat woman, you say?
Do you let him touch you?
Belle was standing there awkwardly and like feel the hands just cup her face, and I'm like, what am I supposed to do?
He like moving his fingers on your face and like squinching your nose a little bit. He kind of like drops his thumb down and pulls like one of your lips down slightly. Like he's like, I'm clearly making it awkward. And then he's like goes up to the face and then he gets to your ears and he's like, oh, and he just like, starts scratching one ear where he knows that you like it.
Belle will be trying to like say something while he's just running his hands through her face, and it's like, well, let's play a game of, do you know if owls taste like chicken? It's like as he hits the spot, you just see her head drop to the table and just rub her chin against the table.
If owls taste like. I gotta get a deep voice for Tyrael. I don't know if owls taste like chicken. But I know I can be a little bit psychic at times. And I'm still just swirling the platinum.
After, like, she opens her eyes and sees the platinum and then feels, like, the hand still scratching behind her ears, she'll kind of, like, claws out and kind of, like, try and get away, so, like, scratching all around.
So, I'm gonna do 3 things. First, I'm gonna guess your name. Second, I'm going to guess something you like. And third, I'm going to guess the name of your companions.
Well, I already told you once, so you can't say nothing.
Oh, okay.
Not that one.
Okay.
Because he's very dear to me. If you say his name, I'm going to lose it.
No.
I promise you.
No. Hear me out. Watch. Listen. I will bet this platinum I know your name. I will bet this platinum that I know something you like. And I also bet this platinum I know at least 2 of your companions.
Oh, kind of shifty eyes look at him and then look at the senile old man and says, fine. Other old man, I'll play your game.
Hey, Belle, they have owl here.
Oh.
They don't have owl here.
No, do you want chicken?
Okay, I'll go for some chicken. Chicken is not my favorite food, by the way. I'll give you that one.
So your name is Belle.
Well, he just said it. So, you know what? I think I still owe the platinum.
Nope. Next. So I reach into my bag and I pull out a piece of beef jerky and I lay it on the table and slide it across. This is one of your favorite things.
It would be like kind of like sitting like on her hind feet, like holding her knees in one of the chairs right next to the middle of you guys, and she'll kind of look over and says, and just looks. She'll kind of narrow her eyes a bit. It's like,
and third, I lean close and I say, you also have a traveling companion named Dez and Mulek.
She'll kind of stare deeper, trying to see if she knows this person or not by this point.
So am I right?
Okay, Belle, go ahead and make a... Gosh, there's clues in what he's saying.
But I'm not lying.
You're not lying. I'm trying to decide whether it would be a perception check or an insight to tell whether... I think it's an insight to tell whether this is actually Thaldohr.
Yeah.
So make me an insight check.
Oh, sure. Takes his hands off of her face and he's like, oh my, a tabaxi.
And your insight is going to be opposed by Thaldohr. Make me a deception check.
I want to use my luck.
Yeah, this. There's something familiar about this guy, but yeah,
it just had to be a nat 20.
He's not anybody that you know.
She'll kind of lean back in her chair and slowly go for the jerky and kind of like quickly snap it back. She'll kind of like slap the old man's hands after trying to touch her face again. Says, maybe.
I look over at Thaldohr and nudge him and just start giggling a little bit. Just like kind of snicker, like, I guess I win this time, don't I, lady? And I take the platinum and I flip it up and I put it in my cloak pocket. It's like,
question. Do you mind trading that?
Trading it for what?
Or this piece of jerky. But even though I really like my jerky, so it's not a fair trade after all. It is not a fair trade, but...
It's definitely not a fair trade.
Yeah, I know, right? Because jerky's amazing. So you know what? I'm willing to sacrifice my jerky for that.
That,
So what you say?
no deal, young lady. No deal.
I have a good idea.
I'm listening.
What is it,
Deckard.
senile?
We haven't had good dinner company in quite a while. Perhaps we should join them for a meal.
Sounds like a plan.
Well,
How
if
about
that
it,
would
child?
happen, you... child!
May we join you at your companion's table?
She kind of like slap his hand. What, cat
Okay,
down,
and
child?
about the time this is going on, Missy comes and brings the 2 ales that Deckard and Tyrael ordered, and she puts those on the table, and she sees Belle, and her eyes go a little bit wide, and she says, Mistress, you shouldn't be here. The soldiers will be back, I fear, and they'll probably bring more. You and your friend, you should leave. They're looking for you. They're looking for you and your friend.
Oh, but dearie, we're doing good things. We want to hunt the owl, and we want to kill it, and we want to eat it. Do you think that's possible?
Dear, I don't know about those things, but the Lord was here this morning, looking for your friend, the bard, and he was all very mad, and then some people in the street said that when he left, he turned into a frog and flew off with an owl, and now people from the Water Baron's Hall are coming, looking for him, and people are telling them stories about you and your friends. And you should leave. You'll be in trouble.
I never really understand people. Like, they're looking for my fellow shirt, and no one comes to me, of course not. Well, I come to the taxi, the wet cat.
To kind of like hiss and see that old man.
Okay, fine. I guess I can get everyone around and probably go somewhere or do something, and I think we have a plan. I don't know. I don't really pay attention. Hey, Krenraid!
She kind of screams at Krenraid.
Do we have a plan? Do you think we have a plan? We probably have a plan, right? A plan? Plan.
At the moment, it involves eating chicken and waiting for the rest of them to show up.
But I think one of them's still passed out. The other one's probably still playing with its doll.
Oh, do you think Des eats chicken? Is she like a vegetarian or something?
I don't know. He might be.
I can't remember.
He really
if
does like
Des
his
eating
plants in his pipe of thingy things.
meat. Wait, he transforms into a dog quite a lot, so he probably does eat meat, right?
Well, not all dogs eat meat.
That's true.
Or do they?
Or do they? Barkeep, another pot of chicken, please. Thank you.
Meanwhile, Bella is just screaming this across the whole place.
Okay, now, Thaldohr and Falliger, your table is attracting some looks from people outside the inn and from the few people that are kind of in other corners of the common room. And now they're looking at this screaming tabaxi that's at your table.
Hey, Deckard, how about we see if we can go adjourn ourselves before dinner tonight? How about we get a room and go relax and then come back for dinner?
Oh, what? So you don't want to eat with me now? Is that what we're eating at?
No. You misheard me, lady. I said we will meet you for dinner. This is like afternoon lunch. So
I want an ale now. Well, I more so want milk more than ale. But you know what? I'd rather more my jerky than milk. But I'd rather
lean over and
tuna
whisper to
than milk,
Thaldohr,
too.
paying attention to that we're getting looks and stuff because Belle's bringing a lot of attention.
When doesn't she?
That's true, but I don't want his disguise to get ruined. So I tell him, I whisper, I was like, I think we need to go upstairs to the suite.
Well, I've never had dinner with a tabaxi before, but I am a little tired, child. Perhaps I could rest and then meet you later for dinner.
And
All
Belle
right.
tried to insight check him now because he said he's never had a dinner with tabaxi before. And it's like, a tabaxi? How could you not have dinner with a tabaxi?
Well, I mean, you can make an insight check, and I'll let Thaldohr oppose it with a deception check. So
Yes. I want to try.
Okay. Fine.
Okay. Okay.
Let me see here.
Okay. Come on.
A deception, you say?
yes.
Why am I scared for this now? Why should it be like a plus 20?
Ooh.
Wow.
He has plus
Belle
Belle.
kind of like use her nose and kind of like.
Advantage.
No,
I choose to use my advantage.
I
Just
choose
kidding.
you not to be.
Okay. So, are you going
I'm
to?
breaking up. Sorry. I don't know what's
Okay. Are you
on
going
here. Can
to?
y'all hear me?
Yeah, we
he's
can
gonna
hear you.
use the advantage.
Are you gonna burn your advantage or not?
No, not on something like that.
Okay. All right. Belle, there's a sudden bit of realization. This disguise looks amazing. This does not at all look like Thaldohr, but you know from some discussion that they were gonna try to disguise Thaldohr. You still are not quite sure, and there's something about the way he says maybe the word tabaxi. Maybe it's the way he accents the syllables or something, but you can tell he's disguising his voice. And you've heard him tell stories in different voices before, because I mean that's part of his act when he's singing and telling stories and everything. So it suddenly dawns on you, oh, this is Thaldohr, and we're not supposed to give away that he's here.
Belle will kind of lean in closer, like almost their nose touching again, and says, "You need some new, better cologne.
He
I can
softly
smell
blows
you."
it. He softly blows into her face.
She'll cough at his, and then she'll turn over to like the blind leader, the blind man who's leading the blind. Point being, anyway, and says, "You had an inside voice. I say you still owe me that copper." And she'll be kind of whispering this now too.
Okay. Krenraid, it's suddenly gotten very quiet over at the table where Belle is with the two strangers.
They've probably made up. You know, Belle's a very likable character when you get to know her, so that's fine. I'm still waiting on the chicken.
Okay. Yeah, the chicken will eventually come. And did you order anything to drink with that?
I was going to wait until, they were less busy. I'm a polite dwarf. Grab
Okay.
them when they're going past and grab an ale.
Yeah, okay. Well, she'll ask you. I guess she would ask you at the time you order your chicken what you want to drink, and so they bring the ale with the chicken.
Thank you.
Yeah, the real test is if he got anything for Belle. The true moment of friendship right here. We'll see.
That would be up to Krenraid.
The drink? No. The chicken? Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So there is a you see Krenraid over there eating, and it's obvious that he hasn't recognized your friends. The girl, the serving girl, seems worried that you and Krenraid are here. The bartender just seems to be kind of in a state of shock. He's just sort of operating kind of on rote, but very, very disoriented and not seeming to be registering much of what's going on at the moment. So, let's go ahead and let's move on from here. What are you doing when you guys finish up here? Are you all gonna head up to the room, or
I wanted to get the chicken and head up to see Des, because I know she's in the same room that we shared. So she's
okay. All right.
Ease her back up.
Okay. All right. So Krenraid will go up to the room. What about the other three of you?
After handing Belle her chicken, of course.
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead, Thaldohr.
He leans over and whispers to you. He says, let's follow him. We can meet up in the room.
Works for me.
My first senile old man. She'll kind of slap his hat down again. Says, "They're my friends. They can come with me. I don't know who they are, but
wait,
there's
what?
something about them."
We're not taking some random people up into our room. They might nick our stuff or something.
I can take this one up to my room, and she'll kind of point to the lady who was sweeping the floor not too long ago.
I look over at Krenraid and I say, "Master Dwarf, if it makes you feel any better," and I pull out the platinum piece and put it in his hand, "you can hold on to this for safekeeping to prove that I'm not going to take anything from you."
I've no use for this.
Me.
I don't know you. I don't trust you. I'm not letting you in my room.
That belongs to me, thank you very much. Just she'll kind of like try and grip it out of Krenraid's hand after he puts it in Krenraid's hand.
I'm not even just trying to hold on to it. I'll let it go.
It's shiny. It's Belle's.
I'm not losing that platinum piece, mind you. I will get it back.
We'll see.
Okay, all right.
See.
So, all right. We now know. All right, advantage on when that happens. All right. So, you guys are trying to do something. What's everybody doing?
I'm trying to go back to the room.
Okay, so you guys are heading up. Belle, you're gonna follow Krenraid.
Yeah.
Well,
with the
okay.
chicken.
Krenraid's not letting
All right.
them into the room because he doesn't know who they are. These are some random strangers,
Okay.
an old man and
Okay,
some other
you
person.
guys, when you guys get up to the second floor landing, if you remember that you're inside and use inside voices, you can probably talk to each other.
I lean over to Krenraid. Krenraid, it's Thaldohr. Chill out. Don't say anything.
Thaldohr, don't look anything like him.
How can I prove? You are a master smith. You made the silver tips for my arrows, or for my crossbow bolts, and you silvered my sword while you were in Barovia.
How do you know that? Have you been following me?
Shh. No,
Krenraid,
Thaldohr.
I know that you play a mean cowbell.
And an anvil.
Who the hell are you two? What is this?
I start kind of nudging him towards the door, and I pull out my key to the door, and I put it in the lock, and I turn it.
Oh, we'll kind of pat her hand, saying, "Oh no, did he accidentally steal that from me?"
Hey!
No, I didn't steal the key. I do one better. I'll say, look, I'll make you feel better. So I kind of, in a little bit of raised voice, but not like loud, I say, "Mulek, come here," in Thaldohr's voice, not in a disguised voice.
Just so you know what my friends sound like.
I've got a surefire test. What is the name of Mulik's little friend?
Petalwick.
Oh, it is. Fuck, it is them.
I'm kind of narrow her eyes more. Like, at this point, would she realize it's Thaldohr?
Yes. You'd realize it's Thaldohr. You probably would.
What the hell are you guys doing dressed up like that?
And I push him in the room.
What?
Yeah.
Yelling.
Yeah, yelling.
Oh, hi there. Sorry to wake you up.
No, Heather's ears hurt.
Okay, so Mulik, you hear. I guess you studied another hour of your book, and after this second hour of studying, there's a sound out in the common room. It's a bellow of Krenraid's voice saying, "You don't look anything like them."
And Belle would kind of be screaming too of, "You let him call me a wet cat!"
And Mulik will walk out and go, "Hey, Thaldohr. Oh, wow, you did a good job with Thaldohr."
Right? Hey, Mulik.
And I'm just gonna act like normal. I'm like, "Hey guys, we got some issues going on, and we got to figure out what we're gonna do."
What kind of issues y'all talking about?
Why is he dressed up like an old man? What is going on?
Oh, Lord. That was me.
Why'd you call me a wet cat?
I was just having some fun with you, sweetheart. Don't worry about it.
So no, this everyone for disguise sake, meet Deckard Cain. My disguise here, I am Tyrael.
Are you guys in the same room
Yes.
as that holds the room for?
We're in the common room.
They're in the common room of the suite.
Okay.
So yeah.
And about what time of day is it? Sorry.
This would be getting
1 in the
on
afternoon,
towards maybe 1 in the afternoon.
1 or 2.
Okay.
So you've slept for a few hours, but yeah, you probably have a couple more hours to sleep to get your full 8.
Well, Des here apparently turned into a bear, scared off some master of the town, and I had to turn him into a frog, and Casper flew him away.
And from the room, it's got the door open. He goes, and I made him smell bad.
So that's what the lady was talking about. Now this makes a lot more sense.
Oh, is that the little tiny faint of dead odor that I smelled downstairs?
That would have been long gone by the time you guys got back.
It's not like a long gone skunk.
Yeah, so it's one round, and even with a cat's senses and all the time and all the people that would have been in there, you wouldn't have heard. But people talked about it smelling like skunk.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, the town's guard. I think I got Casper to fly this nuisance several hours away, but the town's guard appeared to have caught the scent of some funny business, and so I don't know how safe we are here at the moment. We may need to
They can't
reload.
pin it on anybody, Mulik. I mean, they didn't see anybody do it to our knowledge. So
Well, I gather we probably have 7, 8, or 9 hours before this man returns to town. So,
But won't he return as a frog?
And these guards had somehow were notified to come to this inn to question about what had happened. So somehow, either they found his horse and somehow tied the horse back to this inn, or Byron, what's his name?
Lord Byron.
Lord Byron.
Or Lord Byron had somehow was able to communicate to them, and I'm not sure which.
Bryson reveal.
Bryson.
Right. So I guess we should just keep going with our plan and go get on the riverboat. I mean, that's not till later tonight, so I guess we just need to chill out and play low key and then go get our happy butts on the boat.
No, we probably shouldn't stay here any longer. We should probably get going.
Yeah, let's get
I
the
don't
hell
know if
out of
we
here.
want to stay here.
That ruins my deposit.
It's alright, we'll just get Thaldohr to play a little ditty somewhere and you can make your money back.
Yeah, my 10%. But oh, by the way, hand me that platinum.
Oh, I don't have it.
But
No?
it's
Bell.
shiny.
Hand me the platinum. I did.
But
Remember,
shiny.
we made a bet. Yeah, but we made a bet and I won. So hand me my
Well,
platinum.
you made that bet with me. You didn't make that bet with Krenraid.
Right.
Krenraid willingly gave it to me, or I took it from
But
him.
you
So
have-
now
But you have the platinum, so hand it back. And I walk over to Bell and grab my platinum.
All hell's bell. It's just the platinum, Thaldohr.
she'll hold on to it and says,
As much money
"If
as
you
I've
give me
lost in
another piece of jerky."
Hey,
as much.
somebody trying to sleep in here.
Sorry,
We need to get
Des.
going, Des. So
Yeah.
start doing your morning ritual, whatever you need to do. I've got you some chicken.
I have to get up.
Do you like
Yes.
chicken?
Yes, Des, we gotta
You
go.
guys suck.
Well,
bought you
we gotta
chicken.
leave because of what the stunt you pulled earlier.
Hey, what am I supposed to do? He came like pounding on the door, tried to say, hey, chill out, be nice, and then he just turned into a total dick. So I turned into what I was currently feeling like, which is a pissed off bear.
Is that a pissed off bear that likes chicken? Because I'm just holding this now.
Oh, that's kind of
And he kind of comes stumbling out of the room. He looks like disheveled and looks like he's been trying to sleep. I don't what?
Well,
Chicken.
Fuck, give me the chicken.
Yeah. There you go.
well, do we try to slip out the back, or what are we gonna do? Probably ought to make them. Probably ought to let them think that we're still staying here.
Yeah, I would advise we sneak out of here as
We need to
quiet as
pack
possible.
up and go. Yeah, find
Well,
another
if
inn.
they know that we're still here, then they're going to give the inn people trouble. So then it wouldn't be fair to the inn people. That would be
think-
quite mean.
I think that woman can handle herself from the way in her demeanor was.
Oh yeah. And she's trying to talk. She'll kind of like try and squeeze her hands out of Thaldohr's with the platinum in between her hands. Still. Until
we
he
just gonna-
pays his due of another piece of jerky.
Are we gonna just go straight to the boat, or what are you thinking?
Oh, we still have all afternoon. We've got several, I don't know, 6 or 7 hours, right, to kill.
Well,
Something like that.
maybe there's some boats. Maybe there's some runes on the boat.
I can provide a place to hold up if we can find a quiet place out of town.
Why don't we just go to a cafe or something? We've got to hide Des.
I don't think we should be in
Des
public.
can hide
Foul it.
himself.
Yeah. You know it's a
Yeah.
Fowler, you are familiar with the town, so you would know that there are other inns of lesser and greater quality, more expensive, less expensive, whatever. So, the Fat Dragon is not the only place in town. If you wanted to go somewhere for a few hours, lay low, maybe get a place where Des can get a nap while the rest of you sort of finalize your plans, you could do that.
A place that I know that I could buy their silence, kind of.
Well, not unless you want to be recognized, and you're trying to avoid being recognized. You'd be a place that. Well, okay, yeah. Let me take that back. Yes, you know the kind of place where their silence can be bought. Not where you in particular could buy it, but where enough gold could buy their silence. Yes. Let's call it that.
Okay. Thaldohr speaks up. He says, "Well, I know a place where we can go, but it's not going to be that nice. But we can't buy their silence."
Well, they say gold. He who has the gold makes the rules. If we can go somewhere where that they, a little bit of money goes a long way and won't ask any questions, I'm not going to complain. That's my type of town.
Well, we got to get across town. This place is called the Shady Lady.
I like
Shady
that
Lady.
name. I like that.
Yeah, and it's actually the Shady Lady's actually a little closer to the river, a little closer to the docks. So, yeah, you guys can get there. And Thaldohr, you know from this area here, if you use some alleys and some side streets and some things like that, you can get over there, and you probably won't be detected so much. And in fact, what we're going to do is we're going to let you guys attempt to do that by way of doing. Okay, and then by way of a skills challenge. All right, so I am going to bring us over here to this map, or to this particular map. And we have our friends from the last skills challenge. We have Countess Sansuri there, the giant weasel there. And this time, you guys are trying to get out of the fat dragon and over to the Shady Lady without people at the fat dragon noticing you, and without people noticing a group of 6 travelers going together. So that is the goal of the skills challenge. If you succeed in a skills challenge, you're reasonably sure you will have no disruptions the rest of the day over at the Shady Lady. If you fail, well, okay, people might start talking, and people might start putting numbers of people together, and you may or may not have a quiet afternoon. So you can all go and yes, you did. All right, so everybody can go ahead. Thaldohr has already done so, and roll initiative. And what is Thaldohr's dex? It's a 14.
I think so. Yes, plus 2.
Okay, yeah,
yeah, 14.
Actual, yeah. Okay.
Your initiative's a plus 4. But
okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looks like we're missing Thaldohr. So Thaldohr, go ahead and.
I've already got there. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So I need to.
Sorry, I
add you to the. Yeah, bad. That's all right.
You're good.
Right.
2020. What a year.
Okay.
Yeah,
and this. All right. And not surprising, Mulek. With all the little tricks that you have, you are up first. So Mulek, what are you going to do?
I am going to put my my hand on Thaldohr's shoulder and say to him, "You're the mastermind. Help us get out of this mess." And I will, with my other hand, reach into my bag of holding, and while holding the stone speaker crystal, cast Fortune's Favor to impart latent luck on Thaldohr.
Okay, nice. Latent luck. You go ahead and toss that into the. Okay, there you go. All right, Fortune's Favor lasts an hour, and you doesn't require concentration. It gives him a
reroll. It gives him a reroll on attack or an ability check or a saving throw.
Nice.
Okay. Yeah, and it doesn't require concentration. That's cool. All right. So that is.
So I'm casting a spell. So I'm using Arcana.
Yes.
Arcana.
So go ahead and. Oh well. Now wait a minute. remember we talked about this. We haven't done it much before, but if you want to burn the spell slot, we can make it an automatic success. This is something that Matt Colville does. He runs skill challenges very similar to the way I run it, but the option he gives his players is if they want to burn a spell slot, they don't have to make a skill check. It can be an automatic success. And that way it's a trade-off of using a resource in order to get a success.
For now, I'll just take my chances and roll.
Okay. All right. So you don't have to spend the spell slot. 17. Yeah, that's good enough. All right. So we have 1 success to no failures. All right, Thaldohr. You guys are wanting to get out of the inn. What skill would you like to use? How would you like to do that? The only thing off the table is Arcana.
So thanking and appreciating, looking over at Mulek and saying thank you for that. That makes me feel a little invigorated. I'm trying to figure out a plan to get us out of here, and stealthily would be the best way to do it. Quiet, low to the ground. Just keep our eyes and ears open, but just follow, Faerun knows the way. And once we get out of here, I'll help lead him, and he can point me the right direction, but we'll try to do it all the back ways we can. So I'm going to roll stealth.
Okay. Yeah, that is a success. So you guys wind up going down the stairs, and there's people now starting to come in. Kind of the common room is filling up, so there's a lot of custom in the inn, and everybody's scurrying about and whatnot, and that means that you can kind of go down the side passage and go out the back door over that way, and you emerge in the alley that is next to the fence that separates the stable yard from the alley.
Nice.
So you guys get out of that, and you can we've established in the last time that if you go all the way down to the far end of the alley, it's a blind alley, but this is the kind of city where alleys will intersect. So you can go out to the main street, or you can go off some side alleys. But now you're here. And Dez.
Yes.
You guys are standing outside of the Fat Dragon. All of your belongings, and you appear to have made it out. What would Dez like to do?
I would like to use survival to find the best, most inconspicuous route through side streets and alleys to either get us out of town or to get us to a different inn.
Okay, well, Thaldohr has already indicated that the destination is the Shady Lady, and he knows the way and knows that there are several ways. You can use survival to sort of figure out what the least, which of those options from where you're standing now has been used the least recently, and might thereby afford the greatest cover. So yes, you can still use survival, but we'll call it that way.
Okay. Oh, sorry.
Oh my goodness, 28. That is not a nat 20, so that only counts as one success. But yes, you easily blast through that survival check. All right, so now we are up to 3 successes and no failures. All right, Belle, you guys are with Thaldohr sort of telling you where to go. Dez is finding the least used route. What would you like to do? Any skill is open for you except for survival.
I'll kind of turn to everyone and say, wait, guys, because there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, there's a lot of us. Shouldn't we split up so like we all get to the same destination but at different times, so then people won't get suspicious of the number of times that we are all together? So if like we split up, yes, it'll be like lots of us, all different places, but less suspicious. It's a good plan, yeah?
It sounds like you're trying to use a persuasion check. Is that what you're trying to do? Trying to persuade your fellow party members of a strategy? Is that the skill you're trying to use?
I'm thinking of more perception because of, okay, well, if someone is to look at us and try and piece things together, then, like, looking at it before things happen.
Okay. All right. So, yeah, Belle suddenly comes up with a strategic plan. And, it's like she's thinking strategically. So now it doesn't necessarily matter whether you guys agree with that or not, but if you want to do that, I'll say, perception. Definitely, that they realize there were 6 of you at this inn. If there's a big group of 6 people, that get spotted sneaking through an alley, somebody might put 2 and 2 together. So
I'll meet you guys over there. And she kind of gives a big, huge wink. Strangers. I am definitely using my lucky on that. So you can count where lucky is gone.
Okay, all right. So the lucky that she got last time has been expended for a 23, and that is a success. That's a good use of it because 11 would have been a failure.
Okay.
All right, so
it would have been two failures, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, yeah, it would have been 2 failures because there's a natural 1. All right. So just somebody tell me. We'll just say you guys break up into 2 groups. Who's the 1-3 and who's the other 3? So Belle, who's with you?
Belle would claim Des for sure. And probably Krenraid because he's odd.
Okay. All right. So a dwarf, a tabaxi, and a furbog walk into a bar.
You thought they would have. You would have thought they'd seen it.
Literally.
Yeah. All right. So and then that leaves Thaldohr, Falazure, Mulek, and the shield guardian walking along. And just out of curiosity, how are you disguising the shield guardian, or are you disguising the shield guardian?
I'm not disguising the shield guardian.
Okay. All right. You're just counting on stealth to get you there without being spotted. All right, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. So that was Belle. That was a success, and Falazure. So you've told Belle and the others, okay, if you go that way, you'll get there. And now you're relying on with your guidance, you're relying on oh no, Des is going with them, so Des is giving them the guidance. So now I guess you have to take over leading because now you know the way. So what would you like to do?
I guess he's walking with Thaldohr as we're disguised, and he's going to keep up he's going to try to keep hiding the truth of who he really is, and he's going to keep up the deception of that he's old He does. He's kind of somewhat blind. And he's slow.
Okay. So deception check. Wonderful. 18. That's good enough. All right. So now we are at 5 successes and no failures. All right, Krenraid, you find yourself with the Tabaxi and the Furbolg. Oh, wait, before we get to you, Fallisher is holding on to Thaldohr's arm, and he's sort of doing the whole hobbled, bent over, and he makes occasional comments about the odors coming from the refuse piles in the alleyway. Probably how it stinks like demon poo or something like that. All right, so Krenraid, you're up.
This will be fun. Right, so thinking back on my experiences today, I'm going to remember the acolytes at the Temple of Misfortune that we saw, and I'm going to attempt to use a religion check to pretend like I'm one of them.
Okay. Yes. Okay. All right.
So what do the followers of Tavern really do? Let me think on that for a second.
They strip and they're naked. Strip.
Well, that's pretty easy for me to do. I'm not really
Okay,
worried
go
much.
do that. You got it.
Is that a roll that? Unless told otherwise?
Yeah, I haven't seen it come through yet.
Oh, I sorry. I was just waiting for you to go ahead. Nope.
Oh, a 9. Okay, that would not succeed. You do have a lucky. I'm not sure if you have, if you're sitting on any advantage from the DM or advantage from the chat room, but
I have the inspiration from the DM, but I'm going to sit on these two and let it play out because it's funnier. Krenraid just attempts to act like a convert, but in doing so, just makes it more obvious that he has no idea what the hell he's talking about. He's going to walk in a weird way.
Yeah. He talks about he's already inadvertently maybe mentioned something. He talks about the Lady of Misfortune and he sees somebody that maybe is sitting on a stoop in an alley and looks like they're very depressed, and he says to them, "Oh, be comforted. May the Lady of Misfortune bless you." And and it's like, and the person is like, "Go away, you crazy dwarf."
And then Ministry of Silly walks away. One large step in front of the other, just giggling away. All right, yep, see ya.
Okay.
So much for a good cover.
Much for really hiding, right?
So we're at 5 successes and 1 failure. So we're back to Mulek.
Okay, question for the DM. If we use an ability that has advantage, do we get that in a skills challenge or no?
If you always get advantage on it, or if because of some effect you have going, you get advantage on it, then yes, you would get advantage on the roll.
So tell me if this is good, if this is valid or not. So after the hour had passed when I had sent Casper away, I would have dismissed Casper to the pocket dimension where he hangs out, and then while we're making our way through town, I summon Casper and have him fly up overhead to and I will look through Casper's eyes to see if the way is clear for us going towards the inn, to make sure there's no guards or anyone who might be out looking for us. So I'm going to use the owl's perception, which has advantage.
And because with your link you can see through the owl's eyes,
Yep.
Yeah, we'll say you guys you're closing in on the end. So yes, I'll allow it. Go ahead and do perception with advantage. All right. Okay. Yes. 21 is a success. You Casper flies over the inn of, what did you call it, Falliger? The
Shady
lady.
The what lady?
Shady lady.
The shady lady.
Yeah. Okay. Shady lady of the other inn, Falliger knows in town. Okay. That's just more or less from my notes. All right. So yes, Casper flies over the shady lady. You guys get there, or you see that the coast is clear, and everything looks good so far. So you're at six successes and 1 failure. And Thaldohr.
Yep, I'm thinking.
So anything except stealth or perception.
History wouldn't do me too good because I don't know the town that well, so I'm trying to think, story-wise, how that would work. Sleight of hand's not bad. So, as we're walking and I'm playing the part with Falliger there as Deckard, I might just, want to pick a pocket or two. Just, it's out of habit, and see if I can pull something out of someone's pocket as we're walking along to lighten their load, per to say. And no, that don't sound right. I'm trying to think. Falliger, would you have told me a lot about the city before we came here?
Yeah, I think it's fair to say that we probably had a conversation walking back to the main road.
Okay, so yeah.
Thaldohr, you could have thought, man, I lost a bunch of money at the old other inn. I need to get some money back to pay for this new inn.
Oh no, I was gonna make old Deckard pay for the new inn. Yeah, that's not a bad idea, but I think history-wise, I would just, because I remember things. So if Falliger would have described things to me, told me different things about the city, I could put 2 and 2 together, with my keen mind feat, and just picture it in my head. So I think I'm gonna roll a history check.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. History of what you've heard about Yartar.
Yeah.
Based on your mastermind and everything, and you did go and talk with the you did go and talk with people at the Thieves Guild when you got here. So
that is true. Yeah.
Yeah. You may have picked up a couple of things there. So yeah, that makes sense. You let's see, what's a good fact that you know? Yes, you know that when you get to the Shady Lady, this place does have a reputation. You do need to keep your eyes and your hands firmly on your coin purse, because there are people here who will lighten it for you.
I'll keep my eye out and let my group know before we get there.
Sure. Okay. All right. And so we're at 7 successes, 1 failure. You can either win it for everybody, or you can pass it off to Belle. If you don't succeed. So anything except survival and history is open to you.
To me?
Yep.
Okay. And just to verify, we're coming up on the place, or we're outside?
Yeah, you're coming up on the place. You your group has managed to get here without attracting any attention, and you want to see if you can kind of get in and be as unnoticed as possible. Perhaps with your trio, whether you want to grab one room or what you want to do.
There are people milling about outside or hanging out at the doorway?
No, there's not any people hanging out at the doorway per se. Not on the outside. There's just people walking by the street, and maybe you see one person coming out of the common room and, kind of adjusting their hat and sort of walking that way down the street.
Okay. I was going to look at possibly using insight on the people kind of around the area to kind of pick up, are they really paying attention to finer details, or are they they're off in their own thoughts, their own world?
You can do that.
Because it's like, okay, are they a little bit more minutely focused on finer details, or are they just, whatever, people walking by?
So does it act like they are on the lookout for anything, or are they just sort of minding their own business?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So.
All right. So yes, you do it. Oh, and finally, somebody at the very end hits the number right on the head. 15 has been the number that you've been looking for. That is a success.
Wow.
And with the 8th success, you guys make it over here. Yeah, I didn't make this skills challenge too terribly difficult for you guys because I just wanted to kind of move us along in the story. So,
what twists?
So what we're gonna say, we're gonna take our break in just a minute, but what we're gonna say is you guys are here at the inn. You managed to get, as luck would have it, you get adjoining rooms. One group gets one room, the other group gets another room. You're up on the 2nd floor, and when we get back from break, you can do any sort of planning that you need to do. Des will have an opportunity to finish his long rest, and then we'll see if there's anything else you need to do before you head to the riverboat. So, with any luck, you guys will actually get there today. All right, folks, I'm gonna go ahead and bring us back to the splash screen, and I'm going to bring up the music here for everyone, and then we will go ahead and we will take our break. I'll put the timer up for a few minutes, and then we will get back at it. All right, and players, remember, if you want to share your chat during the break with the stream, you can stay on this channel, or you can go to the other off-stream channel. And viewers, we will be back in a few minutes. So I'm going to mute myself so you don't hear my microphone clatter as I put it down, and we'll talk to you in a few.
Well,
enjoyed that.
Let's all jump up there, shall we? Have a talk.
Commodore Kren's int score is 8, which is a -1. Lack of memory and various other fun things. It's very fun playing a dumbass. In a bit. Hey.
Bloom, 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 bloom.
Well, that was interesting.
Oh, God.
Hello, Blonde. We haven't found out a
Yes.
filthy secret of one of our companions.
Filthy. It's not that filthy.
It's so filthy.
You make it sound like she committed murder.
She committed a murder to my heart.
Oh. Hey, speaking of dirty secrets, we had a question from the chat room
It's about
for Paul.
Yeah, Rodora responded to that.
Oh, you did respond
Yeah.
to that?
He knows.
Okay.
He knows what's up.
All right.
Oh, but what is it?
What was my intelligence score?
Aww.
Because I think Com has been in this session for a while now, so I think he knows our characters a bit now. And he'll know that Krenraid's a bit of a dumbass.
Yeah, and it's like, why is he using religion when he has a low intelligence score? Well, because that's exactly the kind of thing that Krenraid would do. He would use religion, even though he's got a low intelligence score.
In his mind, his memory is perfect. In actuality, his memory is absolutely awful.
Unless you cross him, then it's like.
Then it goes in the Book of Grudges and we never forget it. Oh wait, that's Warhammer. Sorry, wrong one.
And I want to say hello to a couple of folks that have been in the chat room. I want to say hello to Commodore, John from the Action Sturge, and Valexian. And Valexian, you had an interesting idea. I'll have to look at it in terms of the channel rewards. We do have a reward to name an NPC, but Valexian had an idea to have a reward for build an NPC. That I don't know. That would be. That sounds like something that would take a little bit more collaboration, and we might be able to do that for people who take advantage of our Discord server that we have. We do have a Discord where between sessions we pop in and hang out, and if people want to interact with either myself or with players from one of the games during the week, you can do so over there. So go ahead and join up with that. I think that link, I finally got it to where the link is permanent and it doesn't expire after 7 days. There was some weird thing going on. I kept trying to make the link permanent and it kept saying it was still expiring after 7 days. So we'll have to see if that is in fact fixed now. All right, let's go ahead. Verify.
See, just a black screen, by the way.
A
black map or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. Then that is because. Why? I wonder. Because we had.
Why? Because that is the existence of my soul right now, dark and empty and sad.
Oh, let me see. I wonder if it did something.
It's Roll20. Of course it did something.
It did something. I had to. Oh, that's what it did. It decided to turn that on. Okay. All right. And it probably did it on this screen as well. No. I don't know why It did it because it had just been on that skills challenge map, and that skills challenge map wasn't dark before, so don't know why it was doing that. But I'm going to move us back from the slate for the benefit of chat, and we find ourselves at the Shady Lady. Up on the second floor. Oh, you know what? There's actually, I didn't even realize it. There's actually a better place. So you guys actually would have gotten this big room over here that you could sort of use. So everybody is all in one big room here, and that way you're not having to go back and forth. So you have a few hours. Des, you probably need, between the disruptions that you had, you probably need about 3 hours more of sleep to get a full 8 hours, so that all of your stuff will reset. Yes, I know strictly rules as written, you're supposed to have 8 hours uninterrupted, or none of that comes back. But you did such a good job in your scene with the Lord last week. I'm willing to break that up because I think it's worth it.
He was rule of spell casting.
Yeah, rule of cool. We will rule of cool that little incident from last week. All right.
Damn right.
So, you guys find yourselves at the Shady Lady, and Thaldohr, you notice as you make your way through the common room and pay for your room, you notice quite a few people using the hand sign language of thieves' cant. So it kind of reinforces the reputation of this place. It's people mainly sitting in at tables kind of close together, and again, this place is a little bit more crowded because it's kind of middle afternoon. It is fall, but it's kind of one of those days where it looks like it's gonna probably make up and rain this afternoon. So people are trying to find a place to get out of the weather before it hits them, and going someplace that they can have an ale is never a bad decision. So you see some people over there, and you just notice that they're flashing thieves' cant at each other. You don't quite pick up on what it says, but you recognize it.
I lean into Deckard and go, "My type of place there, Deckard." Ken, did you hear?
Yeah.
I said, "It's my type of place here, Deckard."
He's getting into character.
Stop it, guys. I'm trying to talk.
I'm trying to talk.
I have dark chocolate in my mouth. Yes, it has a reputation, I'll say.
Well, I've procured this establishment here for the evening till we get on our pleasure cruise, so to say, with our group of people here. So, what are we going to do to kill some time, Deckard?
Very well. Did you offer silence money?
That I didn't do yet, because I think I need to borrow a few coins.
You're not getting it back.
Oh goodness. So yes, I guess.
Well,
hold on, wait.
No,
I'm gonna walk up to the bar after he said. As he said that, I said, "Give me a second, Deckard." I walk up to the bar and I go, "In thieves' cant." I say, "How much for quiet? We wasn't here." Type of service.
Okay, so let's actually establish when you do this and how you do this. So, we on the map we have you all in your room. Would you guys have all gone to the room, and then this is something that you would come back out and do on your own, or
I see that.
do you do this when everybody is in a big group together, standing in the lobby, or
no? I see us
paint the picture for me. How does this?
So as Thaldohr brings up the key of silence, Thaldohr says, "I'll return in a moment." I walk out the room, walk downstairs to the bar to speak with the barkeep, and say, "The room is accommodable, but how much?" And I say this in Thieves' Cant: "How much for silence that we were never here?"
And he looks at you. He's a human, and you've heard somebody call him Gamor. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna say bartender at Shady Lady is Gamor. All right. So he looks at you, and he responds in Thieves' Cant sign, which is basically by sort of scratching first at something on his cheek under his eye, and then scratching at something on the side of his hand. And by the common accepted Thieves' Cant Sword Coast sign language, that means it would be 50 gold per night.
That's fair. So I'll since I've already paid him for the room, he's got to give me the math. Paid him for the room. I'm thinking to myself, because I know we're getting on the boat tonight, so I give him the 50 gold. One night is fine, and I slide the 50 gold across the counter.
And he nods to you, and he nonchalantly just sort of collects it, and he says, "Will you be needing a drink, sir?"
I'll take a pitcher of ale up to the room and some mugs, if you don't mind.
Very good, sir. And so he goes over and he pours a pitcher of ale, and he actually he doesn't ask you how many mugs you need. He puts 8 mugs on the tray along with the pitcher, and it's a nice sized pitcher. And he says, "Compliments of the Shady Lady."
Thanks.
And then he goes down the bar and starts helping somebody else.
And look, there's a table. So I'll go back upstairs to the room. Taken care of, Thaldohr, for this evening. You lick everyone. Our silence is golden. That sounds cool. Our silence is golden. By the way, that was 50 gold, Thaldohr. So that, just whenever you want to pay up. And I have a pitcher of ale here for anybody that would like one. And oh crap, I forgot the water for Mulek. So
Fine.
yeah. So I got all that for everybody if you'd like.
All right. So there's some ale there, and Des quickly crawls into one of the beds, the largest of the beds that are in the room, and kind of
hangs over the edges.
Yeah, pulls some extra blankets, takes a pillow, puts it over his ear, tries to get both the darkest and quietest that he can with other people in the room. And very shortly, you start hearing kind of a distant snoring of the furbog. Oh, so does Des go in a separate room?
Does that
Wasn't sure which rooms were ours.
This room is ours. Yeah,
Okay.
this room is yours here.
Belle has another comfy bed to sleep on? Belle will jump on top of Des.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I don't know that Belle would do that because Belle knows that the furball is kind of grumpy when it
Hey,
hasn't
if she
had
wants
sleep.
to,
Okay.
as long as she doesn't start making muffins on my back, I don't care.
She'll be
Or
making
making
that
biscuits.
bake instead. No, Belle will just go over and lay on his legs and look up at him, see if he's bothered by it. If he isn't, she'll just kind of put her head down and kind of lay there.
I guess she's chilling
Okay.
out.
Okay, so then that means that the strategic planning is going to not include Des and not include Belle. So
Belle can sit there and listen in.
yeah, okay. But Bella is going to be trying to be quiet because she's on the same. As long as she's there, she would have to come over and talk to the others if she wants to join in with the planning. All right, so. All right. Are you guys happy with the plans you've made for this evening, or any other things you want to do? Or
Des would have told you guys before he crashed out that when he gets up and he does his prep for spells, he's going to make sure that he's doing things like water walking, water breathing. And his part tonight, he is going to basically transform into a giant squid and basically just climb into the water and wait. But you guys we need to figure out a way of communicating. So if for some reason they need the boat to go rockety a little bit,
okay,
he'll know.
Well, with being there, with being there, you're well within range of. Now let me just double check if this will work. Yes, okay. You're well within range. You will be well within range of message, and the message cantrip, and you can cast the spell through solid objects if you're familiar with the target and know it is beyond the barrier. So that means any of you that are in the ship, you know that Des would be kind of just probably having his tentacles lightly on the hull of the ship beneath the water. So you would know he's down there, and there's no point on the ship where you'd be more than 120 feet away from that. Now, the caveat is you could send him a message, but in squid form, he can't respond.
Nope.
So it's a one-way communication that way.
Yep. But he'll tell you that before he goes to bed so you guys can make plans.
Yeah. And I'm going to say 3 feet of wood means 3 feet of solid wood, and counting all the decks and the hull and everything, there's not 3 feet of wood on a boat, at least a boat the size of a riverboat. You get on a big ocean-going thing that has 5 or 6 decks, yeah, you might start to get close to that, but on a river boat, no, you're not going to get 3 feet of wood.
Well, that works. So I got my connections with the Thieves Guild for us when we get in there that I can communicate with. Mulek, what is your game plan?
I'm just going to board the boat and keep an eye out. I'll be ready to assist in any way, but I advise try not to do any funny business, because Pal Ming, remember that she has a knack for noticing when people are cheating. So Thaldohr, you might want to be a little careful with your fingers when we're in there.
I'll leave the finger waggling to you. You're like, I'm not planning on trying to rob this riverboat. We gotta, get to the Baron the fancy dressed guy on the boat to figure out what he knows and where the storm giant might be. So we're going to eventually need a distraction. That's probably not hard with Bell and Krenraid. Love y'all guys.
I can create easy distractions if we need distractions.
Right. Also, Thaldohr is the big whale. He's the big spender. He's the god. Yeah, he's the whale. So we're playing it as Thaldohr's the whale. He's a rich old man that just wants to come and have a good time. Bell is his tabaxi, seeing eye cat, pretty much. So I don't really have to be disguised going in there, so I could drop my disguise, but Thaldohr has to keep his.
I'm thinking, we could play up if anyone questions us in our relationship with Thaldohr. We could just say, Thaldohr was this famous bard, and we were kind of his lackeys following him around as he performed. And once he left town, we were kind of left without anyone to follow. And then that's how we met up with you two, and him being blind and wanting to, have some fun on the boat. He was welcoming of any extra guests to kind of keep an eye out for him.
Makes sense.
Protection.
Yep.
So maybe we play it.
Are you leaving the Shield Guardian here?
Oh yes, I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not bringing the Shield Guardian.
Right.
I think the Shield Guardian will attract too much attention. So.
That's fair. So yeah, that'll work. That sounds good to me.
And Kren, you still got that? You still got that triplets spell I gave put in your ring there?
Oh, I used that last night. So, right.
What you what?
So last night, some guy came up to me in the bathhouse, right? And he was like, "Oh, I've got this bad curse and whatnot like that." And he asked if I was a wizard, and because I can do the finger waggling now, obviously I am one. So I went like, "Yeah, I'm a wizard." And he asked me like about this curse thing. I think I told you about this earlier. Anyway, we did this, and this, and I just skipped forward a bit.
Yeah. All right, come here, and I'll go over and hold up my hand. Give me your ring, and
recharge. Yeah, please, thank you.
Yeah, once Kren hands me the ring, I'll go ahead and recast mirror image into it.
Okay. All right. So the ring is powered up, and you have mirror image in there once again.
And then what Mulek will spend the rest of his time, I still need 2 more hours to read from that book if I have it. And if I've got 3 hours, I will use the 3rd hour to do... Well, actually, I'll use 1 hour to do Arcane Recovery. And then however much time, if I've got 2 hours, I'll study the rest of that book.
Okay. I'm going to say you guys probably left the other inn around 2. You would have gotten here through the streets about 2:30. Sundown is gonna be about 8 p.m. So 8 p.m. local time. So you have 5.5 hours before you have to be at the boat, which means you probably have somewhere around 5 hours before you need to leave the inn if you're just going to go straight to the docks. And then whether you guys are all going to go as a group or split up again, per Bell's earlier suggestion, and get there in 2 different groups, or however you're planning to do that.
Plenty of time to go win some prize money then in some drinking contests in the seedy pub.
You have fun with that, Krenraid. I'm going to sit here and contemplate our strategy.
Yes, there is plenty of time to do that. So we know what Mulek is doing. We know what Krenraid is doing. We know what Thaldohr is going to do. Dez is going to sleep for at least 3 hours, and then we'll have a chance to do something. What about
will be
Bell?
tapping on Dez's legs, gripping
Okay.
lightly now a little piece of platinum.
Okay. All right. And what about Thaldohr? What's Thaldohr going to be doing?
He's probably practicing his voice. He's sitting down. He's like,
La 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 la.
he tells Mulek to stay a while and listen.
All right. So Thaldohr is getting into character, and between plotting and planning, Thaldohr is doing voice coaching. All right. So I guess the only person that's really leaving the room is Krenraid. So Krenraid, you want to go see if you can find a drinking contest in this here establishment, right?
Indeed. There's got to be some unscrupulous people I can nick some money from.
Okay, so is Krenraid gonna leave anything in the room with the rest of them, or is he just gonna go with all of his stuff?
I mean, I don't really have that much, really, so I'm just carrying it.
Okay. All right. Then you go down to the common room, and you're there, and there's a bunch of kind of shady people around. And make me a perception check as you walk into the common room. Oh, wow. Okay. You notice that there's at least 8 people, probably more, from different parts of the common room. As you walk in, there's this assessment. These eyes go to you, and they kind of furtively float over and just for an instant sort of rest on the most obvious things that Krenraid has on. And it's kind of got the look of, does that guy have anything worth stealing, or would it be a bad idea to steal from that guy? And you get the sense that they kind of all make the assessment, nope, seasoned adventurer, too much risk, and they kind of dismiss you as a target of somebody that they would want to pickpocket.
If I catch any of the glances, I'm immediately growling my teeth together.
Yeah, that kind of
kind of off-putting,
makes them just sort of the glance just suddenly shifts from looking at you to looking beyond you, as though maybe you were mistaken. They hope maybe that you think you were mistaken, that they were actually looking at you. No, they were looking at something over beyond you. But it's kind of with myself. That. Yeah, and then you do that a couple of times, and then you're like, okay, yeah, they're just trying to fool me. Okay, you're on to them. You know what they were doing, but they all look like they're, they would rob some noble or some rich merchant, but a seasoned adventurer with battle scars like you have, no, it's not worth losing a hand over, or worse. So they you don't think you'll have any trouble from them, but you go and you sit at the bar, and there's a human there, and as we have established, the bartender is Gamor. Okay, wonderful. Thank you, Paul, for throwing out the NPC names and locations. And there's a couple of other people that are sitting at the bar. One of them is a half-elf. And this half-elf is... it's a half-elf female named... half-elf female. And the other one is a human male, and the two of them are dressed kind of like scoundrel. They're kind of dressed like scoundrels, and they each have a large tankard of ale in front of them.
Well, now that I've got everyone's attention in kind of a way, one foot standing up, but then climbing on top of the bar stool and standing upon it. Barkeep, your strongest ball of ale. This is going to be fun. Does anyone here have the strength of will to try and beat this guy in a drinking contest?
And there's there's a couple of people that look around, and there's a group of humans sitting over at a table over there, and they're kind of youngish. They're in their maybe their 20s or so. On the underside of 30. So for medieval, for adults, they're kind of they would be family men by this time, and or that would be the expectation of humans at this point in time. But they're looking a little bit tough, and there's one of them that is there, and the other two they slap his shoulders and they say, yeah, you should, Josiah. It's your lucky day. Can't believe anybody that's as lucky as you are. And so he's like, oh, come on, guys. And they're like, no, you should go. And, so he kind of looks over at you and he says, oh, I might, Master Dwarf. Oh, what's the stakes? What are we drinking for?
I just got paid a handsome sum for guarding some fancy bar and whatever the hell else someone else was going on. So I've got 2 plat to put down on this here bet. What are you thinking?
And a couple of eyebrows raise. 2 platinum. And then the 2 guys that are with this Josiah character, they whisper something to him, and he says, well, you gotta make sure I get back home if this guy wins. And they're like, yeah, no problem, Josiah, but this is great. This is your lucky day. And so he says, all right, and he digs into his coin purse, and he pulls out 2 platinum pieces, and he stands up and he walks over to the bar and he puts his 2 platinum pieces down and he says, all right, Master Dwarf, you're on.
Oh, this will be fun. Very brave of you to challenge a mighty dwarf, but I admire it.
And, he kind of looks over and certainly at his friends like, okay, what have you guys got me into? But he says, all right, what are the rules here, Master Dwarf? Your game?
All right, let's do something very simple, something we could all agree on. We each choose the other person a drink, and the drink can be whatever you want off the top shelf. No mixing drinks. You just have a straight shot or something, and whatever you want to have ordered for the other person, that person has to drink it. And you've got the advantage because this is my first time in this establishment, so you should know what the strong drinks are.
And the barkeeper or the bartender, he sort of clears his throat, and he sort of looks like he scratches under his chin, and the human looks at him and he nods. He says, "Yeah, my mates are good for it. I can't imagine we drink 4 plat worth of stuff, but if we drink more than the wager, we can pay." And then he looks at you. He says, "What about you, dwarf? If our drink costs us more than 4 plat before one of us falls out, are you going to pay the barkeep the rest?"
I think that's fair, yeah.
Okay, so winner gets the spoils, but winner has to pay for the drinks, right?
Oh, I think let's just go all in. The loser has to pay for the drinks. If it means more than the pot, then both players can contribute their winnings, yeah? That means we're all having some fun here.
And he looks at his friends, and his friends are nodding and grinning at him, and he says, "All right, Master Dwarf. He knows I'm good for it. So, do you want to go first, or shall I?"
By all means, you had the bravery to step up to my public challenge. You go first.
And then he turns to the barkeep and he says, "Gamor, why don't you get my friend here a shot of the 18-year-old Yartar whiskey?" And he says, "You mean the Water Baron's Mark?" It says, "Yes, the Water Baron's Mark, the 18-year-old. And he says, "Okay, if you insist." And so he says, "I do." And he looks at you and he says, "I'm going to start this off with some of the best whiskey here in Yartar while you can still taste it."
Oh, that's very considerate.
And so he barkeeper pours and brings a shot glass over and sets it down, and there's this beautiful amber looking whiskey in this shot glass. So do you just simply drink it, or do you sniff it? What do you do before you?
I'll sniff it. I'd admire it a bit. Admire the bouquet.
It has a very slightly, it's an interesting odor because you have notes of caramel, but also kind of notes of peat in there. So it's like a very interesting bouquet. And a little bit sweet, but it's got sort of that very dry, peaty odor to it as well.
Okay, let me just give this a go.
Okay. You drink that down, and it's tasty. It's not as good as proper dwarven ale, but it's pretty tasty. And because it's distilled by humans in a river town, you don't even need to make a constitution check after one shot. But you know, it burns nicely as it goes down. So you realize, too many more shots of that. I might have to start watching what's up, what I'm
might start having fun.
Yes. So then it is your turn.
I kind of like the way this is going. A very polite way of starting a drinking contest, and I respect it. So let's keep this upper class establishment going. I think we're going to go with some Undermountain Aliraf wine.
And the bartender is like, oh, nice choice. And so he pulls out a bottle and he pours a glass of the wine and he sets it in front of Josiah. And Josiah gives a sniff of that and says, oh, Annette would like this. And so he gives a sniff of it and he drinks it down. And he is going to make a check. Okay. Yeah. He drinks it all down in one gulp. And he swallows it kind of hard, but he smiles at you and he says, "Very, very tasty. Yeah, my gal would like this one."
We had this in the Underdark. It was freaking delicious. This was some weird mushroom beer. I can't remember what it was called on the top of my head, but it was great.
Interesting. So you've been to the Underdark?
Yes, I have. Speaking of, Underdark, it's your turn.
Okay. And so he goes with, he looks at you and he says, he asks the barkeeper for a mug of dwarven ale. And, you're a little surprised when he asked, because he does ask for a specific brand, and it's a brand that Krenraid is familiar with. And you're like, oh, I would not have expected in a place like this that they would have that. But sure enough, he goes and there's a keg over there that is stamped with the brand of that holdfast. And he takes a mug, and it's a dwarven ale mug for humans, which means that it's about half of the height and half of the circumference of a proper dwarven mug. In other words, they serve this in sizes that will not completely knock a human into next week. And so he brings that over, and the bartender starts bringing it to you, and it's like, oh, that's a puny little mug that he's bringing.
That's cute.
And he looks at you, and then the bartender says, oh, yes, we only serve it in this because normally most of our clientele are humans. And he gives you a little bit of a sheepish grin.
I'm impressed that you have it in the first place. In fact, I'm honored you would think of it. Good choice.
And he says, "Oh, well, thank you. We do have discerning clientele. And make me a perception check." And you're not at a point where you need. Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah. You're not at a point where you're making checks at disadvantage yet. You take this and you sniff it, and oh yes, you remember this. Oh yes, if somebody kept giving you this, you would gladly drink until you can't remember your own name. This is that kind of good dwarven ale, and so do you savor it, or do you take it all in one big gulp?
Take it all in one big gulp.
Okay.
That's how a dwarf of Krenraid stature savors it.
Okay. All right. So Krenraid just pours it back, and you can hear a couple of the humans and half elves going, ooh. And then you put it down and you wipe the foam off of your mustache and beard, and you give a nice satisfied belch, oh, that was tasty. Go ahead and make me a Constitution check, because now you've had. Normally, this dwarven ale this small of a thing of dwarven ale would not cause you, but you've had hard whiskey and now followed by dwarven ale. So,
is this a saving throw or a Constitution check? Sorry.
Constitution saving throw. Yeah.
There you go.
Oh. Okay. Yeah. You're not even phased. Okay. The ale is going down and introducing itself to the whiskey, and the two of them are setting up for a party because they're expecting guests. So, yeah, and it's a merry time being had by all. So, we're going to pause after the second round. We're going to go back and check on the people in the room. Anything in particular, Thaldohr and Faerun, that you guys want to be doing?
No, just still discussing our plan, working on his disguise, and making sure he's up to snuff on the details.
Okay, all right. Well, we'll skip. Let's see. We'll skip a couple of rounds.
Good plan.
Okay. Actually, yeah, it's the fourth round now, and so the DC for your con checks has gone up a little bit, but you're not at the point of making a check at disadvantage. And he now orders another kind of a spirit for you, and he calls it vodka. And not sure if Krenraid would have had vodka before or not, but
I'll have to smell. I don't recognize the name.
Yeah, this guy calls it a vodka, and he says it's distilled over in Waterdeep.
I've been around that way, but I never had this. I don't think. I've just smelled it.
Yeah. And it has kind of a very clean odor to it, and there's you can definitely smell the alcohol, but there's not many more notes than that to it.
It smells a bit like the thing we used to clean the stones with. Could be good. Shut it down.
Okay, and go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw. Oh, yeah, easily passed it. So what do you order for him next?
I think we're getting a bit more on here. I think my young friend here would quite enjoy a Dragon Breath Ale.
Dragon Breath Ale. And you order that, and the barkeep's eyes widen, and he looks over and says, "You're sure you're up to that, Josiah?" Yeah, I'm up to it. After the day I'm having today. Oh my God. Oh.
After you've had this, mate, we'll have to talk all about it.
Yeah, Krenraid. Well, actually, would you be using your name, or would you have given him a different name?
Oh no, I'm saying Krenraid. I stood up and said the mighty Krenraid challenges you to.
Okay. Yeah, he said, "Oh, Krenraid," and he claps you on the shoulder like he's a longtime friend. I gotta tell you about the funniest thing that happened today. And so the Dragon Breath Ale comes, and he takes it, and he starts to drink it, and he gets about 2 big swallows of the bottle or of the mug down, and then he puts it down, and he just waves one hand. He says, all right, my dwarven friend, you win. I can't chuck this. It's really good. But I got it. So you win the contest. But I gotta tell you, the funniest damn thing happened.
What was it? What happened?
Okay, so my girlfriend is Annette. And that probably doesn't mean anything to you, but
Is she pretty?
Oh, she's beautiful. Her mother is the water baron of Yartar.
You're Krenraid immediately dumbfounded. He's not very smart, but there is something there. Hold on. Hey. Oh, that's the one everyone keeps talking about. Yeah, she must be beautiful.
Yeah, she is. And a few months ago, well, you know, we've been dating for a while, and she's like learning. She's learning. She wants to have the thrill, so I've been teaching her how to pick pockets, and so every time like fancy dancy people come into town, she likes to chat them up and, you know, sort of get really friendly with them, and then she tries to pick their pockets. Well, there was this bard in town a few months ago, and so she never managed to pick his pocket, but she got him in, you know, in the bedchamber a couple of times, and then, you know, not long after he left, she got pregnant.
Wait,
now the good thing
with his kid? What? Why is it so funny, mate?
No, that's the hilarious thing. We went to one of the wizards in the Black Network, and they were able to do whatever they do. Whatever they do with their fingers, and that was able to tell them that it was my kid. But
congratulations!
She knew she was gonna start to show that she was pregnant, and her mom and dad would kill her if she knew that she was dating somebody who works with the Black Network.
Why?
Well, I mean,
you seem like a really good lad. Why would he want to hurt you?
Well, because, you know, it's like, and you keep a secret.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course you can keep a secret.
Can you keep a secret?
Yeah, I can keep a secret. But anyway.
I'll tell you yours, you tell me mine, okay?
Okay, sure.
Yeah, that's fair. Sure. I'll go first. Okay. I'm really scared. All right, I'm really, really scared, like genuinely shit my breeches scared of bumblebees. You said you could keep a secret.
I won't tell anybody. He kind of makes a motion like he's gonna zip his lip, but it sort of comes more like across his nose instead of across his mouth.
Yeah.
He's having a real hard time. Well, yeah. See, because my job with the Black Network is I forge documents. So I've been forging the profits from some of the casinos. And it's like they haven't been paying.
In a forge?
No, like making the numbers different. And they haven't been paying half the taxes they're supposed to the last few years.
Oh, that's bad, isn't it?
And I get a nice little kickback from it. So anyway, Annette knew that she was gonna start showing, that she was pregnant. So when she did, she told her dad that it was the bard that got her pregnant.
Oh, so you're in the clear because the bard's taking the blame. Oh, that is evil and very smart, I must admit. What was the bard's name anyway?
Philemore, falafel, or I don't know, something with a.
Begins with F.
Sounds like he's fallen off a horse or something, but maybe it's fallen off a horse. Maybe that's his name. But
must not be very good.
The thing is, she came back into town today, and her dad went looking for him. and then the weirdest damn thing happened. People outside the inn where this bard was staying say her dad turned into a frog and flew off with an owl.
Ow. Frog. Flew off with.
Have you ever heard of a better day in your life?
I gotta go to the little dwarf's room. Excuse me. I'll be back in a minute.
Okay, fellas, you're all right. All right, Krenraid, you're all right.
I'll be back in a minute. Pay the man the tab.
Oh, yeah. What do we owe? And as you start walking back over there, you hear kind of a clunk, and he's just passed out on the bar.
Perfect. Right, sprinting back into the room. Smashes the door open. Guys, you're not going to believe this. Whatever you're doing, drop it. Des, wake the hell up. Thaldohr, you are not the father of that child. The real father is out there, passed out on the goddamn tavern stool. All right?
What?
I just had a drinking game with this guy. Apparently, he works for something called the Black Order or Black Track or Magic
Black Network.
Yeah, Black Network, that was it, yeah. He works for them. He's forging documents, right, for all sorts of casinos. I don't know what he's doing with a forge making paper. I don't understand it. But he's doing something with numbers, right, and casinos, and something to do with tax. And then he gets a kickback. I don't know why he'd want a kickback from like a horse or something, but whatever. Anyway, he does that, and it's absolutely amazing. He gets loads of money for free, basically, is what it sounds like. Anyway, he is dating Annette, the Water Baron's daughter. The one that got you in bed, Thaldohr, and she was doing it to try and nick some of your stuff. She's a pickpocket.
Wait, what?
She's a pickpocket for fuck. We gotta go grab that guy.
You mean, I'm not gonna be a daddy.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't think about that connotation. You're not the daddy. It's his child. At least he seems to think so. They apparently went to a wizard who could identify who the father was. At least those are his words anyway.
I never thought I'd hear these words from Krenraid. You are not the father.
Right.
They've done a blood test and you are not the father.
Or the medieval equivalent.
Krenraid's my personal Maury.
Guys, he's sitting right outside, passed out on the bar stool. He's the guy that is the real father. All right, and I know I'm slurring a bit because I've been drinking, but I'm telling you, he's right there. You're not the dad. He's been doing some weird stuff for the tax people. What do we do?
Wait, but how do you know that he's the father?
Apparently, he saw a wizard.
Wait, what?
Apparently, he saw a wizard who did some finger waggling, who told him who the father was.
And it was him.
And it was him. Because he's actually her boyfriend. She's been luring people into her room and stuff to steal things. And he's got lots of money, right? So I'm actually inclined to believe him. Either way, what do we do?
The only thing she stole from me, though, Krenraid, was pleasure.
I don't know what that is.
It means she had a good time. You hear me what I'm saying? She didn't steal nothing from me that I know of.
She must be a really bad pickpocket.
Thaldohr just sitting back, just holding his hand to his face, like, oh my God. Thinking Krenraid would be the one to break this case, right?
I mean, this makes half-ass sense, but well, what do we do? Go down there and nick him or what?
I reckon I could probably get him into this room.
All right.
What do you guys want to do? I don't know.
Hell, I want to integrate the bastard.
That's what I thought. But he's a well-known member of this people, right? We've got to do it smart-like.
Oh, that's right. Well, maybe
DM.
Thaldohr is a member. Maybe he can lure him up here.
The Thieves Guild does not like the Black Order, correct?
Correct. The Zentarum, which you know, the Black Network is another name for the Zentarum.
Right.
They are one of the major factions in
Waterdeep.
Well, across the Sword Coast.
Right.
And particularly the Thieves Guild here dislikes the Black Network. So if you have dirt on the Black Network, you know that your friend that you met with yesterday, who is the head of the Thieves Guild, he would very much like to have that information.
Then I need to... I look over at Thaldohr and Krenraid. Krenraid, he's passed out drunk, correct?
Yep, yeah. I need to go check with him.
You need to get him up here. I need to go hook up with my contact. And they might just want his head. So we might have a way to kill two birds with one stone. Clear Thaldohr's name and make good friends in the city.
He was a pretty decent chap. He did buy me the drinks.
Wait.
Well, hell, Krenraid, I buy you drinks.
We're not going to just let... I mean, even if she is a pickpocket, she was real sweet to me. I'd hate to kill the father of her baby.
Oh, I didn't say they'd kill him. I don't know what they do with him, but I just know this. It will clear your name. You won't have to worry about something hanging over your head the whole time we're in this city.
Well, what if we get him, right? And we get him to tell us where this wizard was that told him, you're the father, and you're not the father, or whatever that was. And we bring Daddy Waterman with us, right? And then he can hear it from the dog's mouth that you are not the father.
Yeah, we got to be able to prove it. Otherwise, it's just the father's word against his and ours.
All right, I'm going to go get him in the room. He's a decent chap, though, so you guys don't mess him up too badly.
Oh, goodness, Krenraid.
Okay.
I mean, Thaldohr, should I talk to my contacts?
Let's see what we can get out of him first, and then maybe you can send off to have one of them come down here and meet us here at the Shady Lady.
That's fine. I wouldn't be surprised if there are a few of them hanging around as we speak.
Let's make sure we gag him, though. We don't want to make him too much noise.
Yeah, we don't want to wake the sleeping bear over there.
Okay, Krenraid.
Ahoy, forging man!
We're going to leave it when you come out into the common room. You see that your man is no longer sitting at the bar. He is still in the common room, but he has been dragged back over to the table by his friends, and he's now kind of passed out on the table with his two friends sitting there with him, kind of they're kind of being a little bit protective, and they even kind of give you a friendly wave when you come back, because as far as they know, you just went to the little dwarves room. But they have probably taken him back to their table so that nobody else would relieve him of his gold while he's passed out at the bar.
He's got good friends.
Yeah, so that's where we're going to leave it. You see him there with his buddies. We'll decide what you all want to do about that when we return next session.
This will teach me to always get sleep when everybody else gets sleep.
Do I finish reading that book? Can I find out what the Wand of Fortune is?
Yes, you do. And remind me of that during the week, and I will send that to you during the week.
Take it.
Well, okay. I'll send it to you during. I'll put it in writing for you during the week so that you understand what that is going to do for you.
Okay.
All right. So, folks, thank you all for joining us for this session, and we hope that you have enjoyed it. This was a fun session, I think, for most of us. And yes, I'm sorry that Des was kind of off the sleep schedule.
He's fine.
And
he'd just be otherwise sitting around smoking his pipe, looking at everybody going, "What's so funny?"
But as we come to the end of our session, we'll be back next week for the next session of Sword Coast Chronicles. But before we go, I'd like to let Paul and Michael talk a little bit about what is coming up on their streams this week. Paul, do you have anything coming up that you want people to know about between now and next Thursday?
The only game I've got up that doesn't currently conflict is one that is on the 20th for me, so I will kindly pass the baton.
Okay. Then, Michael, what do you have coming up this week over on the Doors of Fear channel?
I'll probably be streaming some more RimWorld. I got that game on my mind. No. New World. I'll probably be streaming some more New World leveling up with my buddies that I play with. And I will most likely be playing Sea of Thieves with Scary Jerry Gaming. He's celebrating his birthday that happened yesterday.
Oh, nice.
So he's going to be playing a 12-hour stream. So I'll probably join him a little bit for some Sea of Thieves action.
Okay. Well, happy birthday, Scary Jerry.
Happy birthday.
Yes. And does anybody else have anything coming up on other streams that they want people to know about between now and next Thursday?
No. We've got a game on Sunday, don't we?
We do have a game on Sunday. There's no game on Saturday night, but there is a game on Sunday. And for those of you that wonder what happened last week, what happened this week with Monster Monday, well, OBS did something to me that it's never done before. We got somewhere between 33 and 34 minutes into our session on Sunday afternoon, and it never stopped recording, but the video went black for a few seconds, and then when the video came back, it didn't have any sound.
Oh.
And it didn't continue to have any sound, and it didn't continue to have any sound all the way through the end of the session. So, and I double checked, and it did that not only on the stream, but it also did that on the recording. So we only captured like the first 30 some odd minutes of our Sunday session on the stream. So what I did Monday night, I called an audible, and because the session was still fresh in my mind, I used the time slot for Monster Monday and did kind of basically a brief recap of what happened in the session on Sunday. And when I get the timestamps and everything on that, I'll go ahead and throw it in the Walker of Waterdeep playlist, so that we since we missed most of the episode from recording, at least we'll have the recap and people who are following along can know what happened during that session. I don't know why it did that. It's never done that before. OBS was just being a real PITA. So
have you found out if other people are struggling with those issues too?
You go on Reddit and you go on it, there's always people complaining about OBS, but then again, they complain about all of the other streaming software as well. It's I think probably because of my setup, I think that maybe I might have noticed it wasn't recording and I could have stopped it and restarted it, but because of the way I look at my DM screen and I record on the other computer that's showing the player view, I don't always see everything because it's sitting at a 90-degree angle from me. And I don't see the meters on it when there's sound recording and when there's not sound recording. I just look at it and see, oh yes, the image is up, so it must be running fine. So that's a part of it, I think. But anyway, hopefully that was a one-time thing. Hopefully it doesn't. Tonight we haven't had a hiccup at all. It's been recording and the stream's never dropped once. So I don't know what's going on. Then Monday night, that means instead of doing, because I skipped the core spawn worm this past Monday, I will be doing the core spawn worm this Monday for Monster Monday. And again, no game Saturday night, Walker of Waterdeep Sunday, Monster Monday, and then back next Thursday for another Sword Coast Chronicles.
And maybe we'll get on the boat for once.
Yes, we might. We're getting closer and closer to getting on that boat. And we've got a couple of answers to things tonight. But now that's opened up some new potential possibilities for what they can do while they're here in Yartar before they get out of town. I am going to run over here on Twitch, and I am going to see who is streaming some D&D tonight. See if we can go ahead and jump onto their stream. So let's see who is. All right, take care. Let's see. Okay. Somebody is. Okay, Adventures in Abraxas. Zinni. So let's go ahead and let's raid Zinni. All right, everyone. You guys go ahead and have a wonderful evening. Players, we will talk to you soon. And those of you who are in the Sunday game, I will see you then.